After 6 years of hunting and fishing and kissing and bitching, John Mark finally got on his knees for a change and popped the question. We are so excited to celebrate with 300 of our closest family and friends in a huge-ass barn on June the 53rd, 2000 in Double D. Baby, I love you to the moon. This is forever. Y'all, thank you so much. Give it up for our host.
Hey, round, everybody. Keep on board. No, there's a very good reason why I'm not married and have kids, and it's not because I look like this. Fuck you. It's because I'm the 8th of 11 children. Yeah, I think I have enough. I have 17 nieces and nephews. I should probably learn their names. But yeah, no, there's just already been too many kids in my life. Like, I'm 34. By the time my dad was my age, he had a master's degree in civil engineering. He built his own house, he'd started his own business, and he had 7 kids. So the only thing I'm better at than my dad at this point is pulling out. Which, I'll be fair, he did learn his pull-out game from the U.S. military. Stuck it in there for 20 years. Here we are. I think the only person worse than pulling out than my dad is Nick Cannon. Topical. Just as a reminder, guys, we do have this tip bucket here. I'm going to be placing it out here on this table. If you've liked what we've seen tonight so far, please show us some love so we can all take the bus home later. But we're going to keep this show rolling with one of my absolute favorite comedians in the city. He is a delight. You're going to love him. He's coming hot off of Hell Yes Fest. Give it up right now for Christopher Anthony, everybody.
Yeah, that's how we get home. And I think how we got here. I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, elections. Let's talk about it just for a second, you guys. So exciting. I love election time because we get new politicians to blame our old problems on. It's so good. It's like, of course he broke up with you. It's because there's a Democrat as your senator, and that's the problem for everything. I gotta admit, like, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but there were some beautiful women working the polls, you know? And with 4 strip clubs closed in this city, voting's the most excitement I get. That's a pun, because the polls, you know? All right. But I mean, young, beautiful women working for hours for a guy in a suit who's already married, it's just like the strip club. I'm bringing smart humor because I believe in your education. All right, we're good. Who'd you guys vote for? Just shout it out real quick. I'm sure you're not going to have any issues whatsoever. Who'd you vote for? I'll tell you who I voted for. I'm not going to lie. I voted for the guy with the most signs. It makes sense, right? That's the whole point. Why else would they have that many out there? Here's my line of thinking. I voted for the person with the most signs because it tells me 2 things about them off the bat. Number 1, they've got a shit ton of friends, because who else did all that, right? And 2, they've got a ton of money, because those things aren't cheap. And if I learned anything in high school, it's hang out with the people with friends and money, right? Because sometimes I get hungry and I don't have money for lunch. So I'll hit them up. It's good. See, we can talk about politics and not immediately have to unholster our weapons. It's so good. I like it, because we're having fun. I will tell you though, it's a little bit ironic when it comes to like elections and politicians. Like for instance, this one guy, his slogan is real simple. He's like, we're gonna clean up the city. We are going to clean up the city. And it's very easy to get that in your head because there's like 200 signs that say it. I saw at least 100 of them on the way here, and I live a mile away. See, we're going to clean up the city, but we're also going to spend $4,000 on trash. See? All right. I'll provide some commentary for you guys in case. I mean, I know this is funny, so that's fine. And then a lot of politicians are real quick to say, oh my God, I care about the environment. I care about the environment. You ever go to like any of these rallies for any of these people? Okay? They hand you like a 12-page packet on their plan to help the environment. It's nice, it's pretty, it's color, gloss pages. Non-recyclable. All right, we're moving along. It's okay. It's all right. And a lot of these politicians, they don't even bother saying anything nice about themselves. You know what they spend their entire campaign doing? Talking crap about their competitor. I am going to try that out. As a single guy, I'm going to try that out and be like, look, I am broke and unemployed, but I will not steal money out of your purse like that other guy. I'm not a thief, but I also, hey, can I crash on your couch? I mean, I don't know, is it moving too quickly? All right, cool. All right. I put this together for you guys tonight. That's what I have for you. And then some of these other people, like their whole thing is just like one simple common ground. Here in New Orleans, I don't know if you guys know this, but the streets here are absolutely horrible, all right? When it rains, we end up playing a game called Puddle or Pool. It's great. It's just like, what you do is you wager like a 2012 Honda Accord, and you're like, I think this is a 2-inch deep puddle. Let's find out. Oh, no, it's not. Call the tow truck. All right. So a lot of these politicians are like, just one simple thing that you think, they think you're going to say yes to, right? So like, do you hate bad roads? I also hate bad roads. Vote for me. Vote for me, you know? Again, I'm going to try that out with the ladies. I'm going to be like, hey, you like puppies? I fucking love puppies. You should have sex with me. I mean, we have something, the breath, it's incredible, right? Puppy breath, not yours. Stay away from me in the morning. Okay. Cool, all right. I'm a little bit concerned. A lot of these politicians, they keep saying they're going to make everything safe, but then they're like, all right, so what we're going to do is we're going to empty out the prisons, we're going to fire a whole bunch of cops, and we're going to take away any means you have of defending yourself. Now, that might get some people's nipple twisted when you're a grown-up, so let's put it in kids' terms. Can you imagine being 12 years old and the principal comes up to you right before school's about to get out and says, hey, you know that bully that beat the shit out of you yesterday? We're not giving him detention. Also, none of the administrators here are going to do anything to protect you. We're so busy. And I know he's at least a foot taller than you, but we've removed any sticks or rocks, anything you'd use at all to defend yourself. Anyway, I'm going to go back in my office and lock the door because that kid's fucking violent, am I right? It's crazy. They're always talking about education at the same time they're like constantly talking about sex. So, as it turns out, if we don't allow these teachers to educate our students in high school about sex, they're just going to go back to fucking them, you know? Like, I wanted to show you this. Hey, I think that's Florida legislature, actually. Do you guys, I mean, any guy here was one web search away from being very frustrated. Like, super hot women in like weird, I take an alligator to school, Central Florida, right? Super hot women, and I'm sure a lot of grown people were like, I should get more involved in PTA, that's right, I should. Things haven't been working out with me and your mom, and apparently your English teacher is hot as fuck. Why didn't you tell me that? Anyway. And now you have all these identity politics. It's really ridiculous. My friend has a 6-year-old. A 6-year-old. She's woke. I mean, she wakes up late, but she's woke. Anyway. So she went to the principal, and she's very upset because she thinks that he doesn't need to use the same restroom as the other kids, especially because he identifies as a dragon. He has a backpack and the outfit to prove it, and they are no one to tell him he's not a dragon because they're not wizards, okay? No wizards, no mages. That's an MMORPG joke along with, are you guys here for me? I'm here for you. I know, seriously, I don't know these people either, so it's fine. It's no big deal. Okay, so the teachers, aren't allowed to talk about sex, so they just fuck the kids. Yeah, crazy, right? But I'm sure that never happens overseas or anything. Never. They give them a cigarette afterwards, though. In like Italy and Spain, absolutely. Cigarettes in school. Yeah. See, one for you. I'm here for everybody. And it's weird, like, another one of my friends has a 10-year-old who just started playing soccer, and it turns out he's really, really good. But all these parents, right, they love to shit on your kid, right? If their kid isn't rising up, they're like, who does she think she is? And I know that they're envious. Because every time she cheers them on and says, let's go, Brandon, let's go, then she just gets dirty looks. It's ridiculous. She's trying to support her kid. What's the problem here? Are there any doomsday preppers in this building? Any doomsday preppers? I have a friend who's a doomsday prepper. She has a Costco membership to show for it. So she's a doomsday prepper because at any point in time, she has 3 months worth of battery, foods, blankets, all that stuff, all that supplies. Her big problem, though, is that she doesn't get along with her neighbors. So all that stuff is just for her. No bunker, get a good lock. Anyway, one of her neighbors she doesn't like because he's like a hardcore gun enthusiast, okay? He put up signs outside, just so you knew, because his MySpace page is down. Anyway, so he's a hardcore gun enthusiast and she doesn't like guns. But my line of thinking is she should be nice with him. Because if God forbid anything happens, she's got 3 months of worth of supplies, right? He's got a gun and all of her shit, you know? Right? It's just like, thank you so much, I didn't have time. What with checking my game and going over to the fit. Anyway, I just need all that. You never liked me! What I'm saying is, if you don't have Republican friends, get Republican friends, okay? We can shit on them all they want, right? All over keyboard courage. Get Republican friends. Do you know how to hunt? Do you know how to farm? Republicans sure as fuck do. If we end up in this like apocalyptic, like Russia's just like, fuck these guys, knock out their satellites, done. Basically, they don't even have to knock out our power. If you guys don't have cell phone service, remember when Facebook was down for 8 hours? You're like, do I even have friends? I can't find my aunt. I mean, I have her number, but I haven't seen her on the website. Anyway, if anything does happen, Republicans would have already hunted, killed, skinned, and cooked dinner. While everybody else is like, how do you even milk an almond? I'm squeezing and there's nothing. I'm so thirsty. Our children are starving. All there are peanuts. You know they have an allergy. Based on absolutely nothing. And what's with all this bread? You guys are vile. Anyway, there's no PETA in a post-apocalyptic world. Who gives a fuck, right? People in San Francisco are going to be standing there freezing cold. Like, hey, I came across some, bear fur. Do you want some? Like, no, are you kidding me, you savage? And then if you're not hip with the crowd, right? Then people start coming in, taking all your supplies. You wake up the next morning like, the quinoa, it's gone. Couscous, it's gone. I don't know how to keep getting in here. And then one of them's like, well, why don't we just build a barrier or a wall? Like, you sound just like them! With the walls. Who wants that? Did I lose you guys? Or is this, you're like, I feel like you're describing Brenda. Yeah, for sure. That's Jack, he's one of my coworkers. I'm always nice to him. Because you never know. It just comes through one day. I hate you. You're nice, and you're dead. All right. I mean, it's fun for me. You gotta be careful what you say. Like, simple words you can't even use anymore, right? I'm hanging out with my guy friends. One of my guy friends is like, hey man, just so you guys know, I like to fuck big girls, right? In the roles of like Adele and Lizzo, everyone's like, oh my god, that's great. One of my other friends is like, I like to fuck little girls. No one talks to him. He meant petite. He didn't say young. Word choice, people. Word choice, right? It's like you can't even call them the mailman anymore. You have to call them the person, you know? How do you know they're a male? How do you know it's the person? Where'd you get that from? Oh, the person. It's ridiculous. I was hanging out with my friends at the park. Because we're broken, that's what we do. Hang out at the park, and I like to DJ because I'm on a control trip anyway. So I'm DJing, and a Kanye song comes on. One of my friends like muffles the entire fucking boombox. Like, what are you doing playing this right now? Are you crazy? Like, I made this playlist 3 fucking years ago. Are you serious? Do you know what's happened just in Kanye's life in the last 3 years? Well, first of all, do you remember that tall, pale guy from SNL that nobody gave a fuck about or knew? In the last 3 years, he just like, she's hot, fuck her, she's hot and famous, fuck her. Like, who would have ever expected that? But you can't do anything anymore. You can't even like see these TVs, you can't even watch sports anymore, right? Try to watch a basketball game and like, hey man, you excited for the big game against the Raptors? Guys like, how can anybody be excited considering how the Prime Minister treats his waitstaff? It's like, what the fuck are you? What? What are you even talking about right now? The Raptors are based in Canada, and Canada has a Prime Minister. I can entertain and I can educate as well. All right, well, cool. Look, so real quick, 2 more jokes. Everyone's obsessed with race, right? 23andMe, Ancestry.com. My friend found out he's 80% black because he lost his arm in a car accident, and that's all that's left. He's 80% black. And then he lost this. So he was 100%, and then he lost this at 80. Last joke. Look, I have gone to great lengths to prove, despite the content you heard tonight, I am not transphobic. I am not racist. That is true. First of all, I'm a minority. Not Honduran or Mexican. There's more of us. There's other things out there. Thank you. I have gone to such great lengths that I started dating a trans black man. And I thought my woke friends would be very proud of me. But every time I show pictures of him and I together, my friends are like, this is a 29-year-old blonde girl. And I'm like, but she identifies as a trans black man. All right, thank you so much, Mississippi, for coming out here. I appreciate it.
Thanks for Anthony, everybody. Keep it going for us.